Jess here with Eddie. Dan is completely gone. He's too sick and he's gone home, so you're stuck with us. But we do have the top 5 stories of the week for you, so we'll get into that. Alrighty, so let's start off with one of the biggest things that you guys were chatting about that we brought up in news this week. The PS5 was predicted by Wedbush Securities analyst Michael Pachter to come out in 2019. And you guys had a lot of different opinions on whether this was a real prediction, whether it had any legs. What do you think, Eddie?
So I guess we just wanted to lay it out on the table and say, like analyst predictions, while they do, hold weight, he is looking at a number of things to make those predictions. It's, historical trends. It could be conversations he's actually had with companies, but it could also be just, his own kind of speculation. So we just wanted to make sure that everyone understands that this is not obviously an official announcement. There's still a lot of, time to come in between when he said that might happen. So it's a very fluid situation, but obviously Sony is in the console business, so they will make another console. And I think the thing that he said that really got people talking too was that he predicted it would be a half step, similar to how PS4 Pro compared to the PS4. So instead of a full generational swap, he predicted it would be somewhere in the middle, which is kind of what we're seeing with the Xbox One X, where it'll play your Xbox One games, but it is still a more powerful console. So it wouldn't be surprising to see Sony go down that path, but still a lot of details still to be announced.
Alright, so next up, we hate to talk about delay news, but Ni no Kuni 2 was delayed this week. The head of Level 5, the developer, Akihiro Hino, did apologize deeply for having to delay it, but they said they want to deliver the proper full Ni no Kuni 2 experience, and unfortunately that is resulting in a delay. It was due to come out on November 10 of this year, and now it's coming out on January 19. He also wanted to clear something up. Apparently he responded to a question at E3 where he implied there was going to be multiplayer in the sequel. There will not be. So they're going to say it's going to be a full single player experience, no multiplayer.
PS4, PC, as we've known from before, and game delays happen, and usually it's in the best interest of the game. So
That's right.
So another big piece of news this week was Star Wars Battlefront 2 is getting an open beta and happening in October. So the beta begins October 6th and runs through October 9th, but if you pre-order the game, you get in 2 days early, and this is going to be on all platforms, PS4, PC, and Xbox One. And when you get in there, you're going to be able to try out a 40-player multiplayer match. The map takes place on Theed, which is the capital of Naboo, so some familiar locations there from the movies that you might be aware of. There's also going to be a mode called Starfighter Assault. This is space battles. More info coming on this in August during Gamescom. And another thing to note is that there will be 4 new classes: Assault, Heavy, Officer, and Specialist that you'll get to try out for the very first time.
Did you ever use PS Home, Eddie?
I did. It was a strange, but pretty fun opportunity experience.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, you create an avatar, and it's basically like a big social space. You wander around on PS3, and in Dreams, the people who made it are bringing it back as part of their new game Atom Universe. It's called Aurora, and apparently it's been rebuilt with all the original PS Home assets, so it's something that people can use again, which is extremely strange.
It's completely free too, so no barrier of entry if you just want to jump in and check it out.
Yeah, it's apparently got everything from the original, including its floating archipelago and the minigame Orbrunner. So that's pretty sweet. Yeah, there are some paid elements if you want a private space. I mean, I never personally used it. I was more of a Habbo Hotel person, but that was pretty similar.
So if you're into Second Life and PS Home, 2017 is a weird year.
So we already knew that Overwatch was going to be an esports thing, and it sounds like it really is taking off. Blizzard dropped a lot of details on the Overwatch League this week. What can you tell us?
Yeah, earlier this week, Blizzard made the official announcement of the first 7 team owners, and among them are Robert Kraft, who's a billionaire who owns the New England Patriots, and Jeff Wilpon, who owns the venture capital firm that owns the New York Mets. So there are some huge names from traditional sports. And they are investing. They're not disclosing their investment levels, but we saw a figure floating around of $20 million to get a team going. So if that's accurate, then this is obviously no small figure that they're putting together. And this league is going to be, there's 7 teams right now, but we sat down with the Overwatch League commissioner, Nate Nanzer, and he told us they have plans to grow the league. He didn't give a specific number. He said they're working with partners to find, the right number, the right balance. Like traditional sports leagues, there'll be base salaries for players. We asked Nanzer if there was going to be a players' union, He said he stopped short of confirming anything,
Right.
but that'll be up to the players if they want to unionize. But it is a very, very big moment for Overwatch esports and then just competitive gaming in general, because this is going to be the first time that there will be a city-based structure for competitive esports tournaments. So we might be looking back on this announcement as a very watershed moment for esports.
Yeah, very excited.
And if you're looking for more Overwatch news, be sure to check out the site. We have a gallery right now with all of the new Doomfist victory poses and skins, all the ones we've seen so far, so check that out.
Awesome. Well, that's everything we've got for you guys. Dan may or may not be back on Monday, depending on how sick he is. But thanks for joining me, Eddie.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being with us again for all our news episodes this week, and we will see you again next week.